So just come round to check on the yows again, just a nightly procedure. We've got Horny Jacob, she's expecting quads, so she might come early. And then I've got one yow, we are prolapse. Where is she? I see you, girl. You don't need to shout at the dog. Well, we'll go in and find prolapse. So I had a friend up from Edinburgh at the weekend, and we had to put in a spoon to try and assist her to keep everything inside. Here she is over here. So we'll just go round the back, you'll see the red spoon. So yeah, it's basically just to keep everything inside, pardon me, inside her. Before she lambs, she should be able to lamb past the spoon. Might need a little bit of assistance, we'll just keep extra eye on her. She's expecting twins. There's Pet coming up, I see you. Yep, just off the video there to watching Fed by Farmers, the podcast by Cammy Wilson. He's got Ben Best in just now, and he was kind of touching on, you know, if other YouTubers want to start YouTubing, there's nobody else that can kind of relate to or speak to. I was just going to give my little bit whilst we're round here with the sheep. If I could prop my phone up somewhere maybe, then I'd be able to speak to you. What's the background like there if I set this torch. I'm going to set the phone here, jam it in this bit of wood. That's what you end up tending to do, is finding bits of wood that you can just jam things in. So yeah, I think that's working. And if I set the lighting, would have been perfect if there was a piece of metal here that would have taken the torch, but nonetheless. So yeah, it was just basically, that's maybe a bit bright for you. You'll see me clear as day. But yeah, it was just basically they were going on about, you know, there's nobody else out there. There goes my light, you see. You just can't get the camera staff to help you for free. Maybe if I set it up and down a way. Is that going to be too bright? Is that too much at the camera? We'll try that. I'll set it on the ground. Sort of take two. So yeah, it's basically just to kind of touch on, you know, if there's the dog knocked the light now. Anyway, we'll just bash on. Oscar, lie down. Go and lie down. Go and lie down. So yeah, it was just a touch on base. If you're wanting to start up a YouTube channel, whether it be any channel, but you know, would be great if there was more farming YouTube channels. I think it's a great way for us farmers to connect to the public, especially the younger generation. And I would say that there's a move to more ladies coming in, women coming into agriculture as well. So, you know, it's at a time that we need to be a wee bit more, you know, a wee bit more advanced in the social side, and try and make it welcoming for all them to come in. You know, it kind of shows a bit about the job. You know, if you're going away to start a new job and you're kind of unsure what kind of goes on in the day-to-day farm, hopefully little clips even from my own channel, but other channels out there, it kind of lets you know terminology. You can kind of do a bit of your own study, but at the same time, it's not just a mentor speaking to you like what I'm doing tonight and kind of forcing things on you. You know, it's a bit more real life. We're out here in the lambing shed, and it's, you know, proper. It's not classroom work, it's kind of a bit more, so you get to know what you're talking about, you know, all the terminology, medicines and stuff. Okay, if you're wanting to be totally technical. You know, a lot of people out there are fixated on doing things 100% by the book, which I totally agree. But in the same token, you have to live in the real world as well. Some things never go to plan, or you're kind of rushed off your feet or whatever, and sometimes things happen, and you learn from things going wrong rather than things going right. So I don't want to sound too doom and gloom about it, but say you've got a spade or a shovel, and you're shoveling away at something and the shaft breaks because you've abused it, you're going to realise that's not what it's from, and that won't work. While if you're working that shovel and it never breaks, you're never really going to appreciate when it does break. I know that's quite a kind of weird one to pick up on, but it's like bits of machinery and stuff as well. You know, you could be working a feeder wagon all day and it's be working away perfect, and you'll never appreciate it until that morning that it breaks or something, and you have to get in the back of it and scoop it out, and you've maybe thrown in things too fast and not realised or whatever. There you go. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a kind of a lamb shed rant. And if there's anyone out there thinking about starting up a YouTube channel and they want to ask me a question about anything, not that I'll be able to give you a great answer, but I can definitely give you my opinion. As I say, there's a lot of the older generation think it's maybe a wee bit silly or not to be done kind of thing. You're kind of putting your farm and that out there and letting people see what goes on, but at the end of the day, if we're wanting the backing of the people that are eating our food, you know, you have to let them know what goes on. And to be fair, farming's gone away from the public. You know, you used to have the wives from the family, they were all involved, the children, they were all involved on the farm, so everybody had a basic understanding of what goes on a farm. While nowadays, you know, like, we're so disconnected, probably 2 or 3 generations disconnected from farming, and we need to get that back, you know. I do think the rules and regulations have kind of scuppered that a wee bit, you know. You used to be able to just get a job anywhere and pay cash or whatever, but now that's all tightened up, the rules, so you can't do that anymore. So it's, you basically have to go in full steam ahead to get into a job. But we definitely need a wee bit more. Social media is maybe the way for that, you know, to get in. You can kind of watch a few videos and stuff, and see what's going on in farms, rather than, you know, if you're wanting to try out a bit of farming, you could watch a few videos and say, you know what, I'd quite like to do that. Or you'd watch a video and say, nah, that's definitely not for me. So yeah, just a little lamb and shed rant. We'll give you a little bit of background in here. We've got 33 ewes in here. There's one we're unsure about if it's in lamb, so it's definitely 32 in lamb. Most are twins. There's 7 singles, and there's 1 quad and 2 triplets. We've got a mixed breed from Texel Cross, Texel, North Country Cheviot, Clin, Suffolks and Jacobs. I think that kind of covers. There is, oh yeah, sorry, there is a Blueface Leicester as well, or Leicester, Blueface Leicester. Where are you hiding, girl? Where are you hiding? You must be in feeding. So yeah, there's a few of them's got names. We've got a Monster, Silly Suffolk, Horny Jacob, Lion, Ross's Yow, Head Yoke Mum. She gets called Head Yoke because every year she has a lamb, cracking lambs, and she always has to be put in the head yoke for the first maybe 12 hours, 12 hours, to realise you're now looking after lambs, and she'll come out of that and be the most perfect mum. So you're in a catch-22. Do you get rid of her for that 12 hour problem, but then after that be a perfect mum, loads of milk? We've used her many a time, you know, to help out another lamb that's maybe needing a bit of colostrum. She's always got loads and loads of milk. I'm looking at her just now walking away, and her bag's getting huge already, and she's still not due for another 2 weeks yet. So cracking mum. Yeah, so basically there's a range of all different ones in here. We did have two empties out of the flock. So that would have been a 35. 35 that should have been in lamb, and there's potentially only 32. So really, there's one in here. It was one of my own kept yows. I think it's over the back there. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, just out checking them over, having a little rant, going on a little tangent, as Cammy Wilson always likes talking about. Sheep game, mentioned for you. Dalscrone Farm, that's who the Ben Best's from, down in Dumfries. And as far as I made out on the podcast, that's Farmer P's son. But as far as I understood, Farmer P is below Birmingham, and Dalscrone Farm with this Ben Best is Dumfries. So it would be interesting to find out how he managed to get moved up to Dumfries from down there, or if it was the other way about. Not that they'll watch this video, but if you do, drop me a comment and tell me how that happened, or mention it in another video. That would be handy. There's the one with the spoon, just a way to lie down, have a rest there. So basically what happens is everyone's probably mentioned this before, but if anyone doesn't understand, you've got the sheep's insides. Obviously they're growing 2 big healthy lambs inside, and they want to eat as much as possible because that's what sheep love to do. So when they eat loads and they've got 2 big lambs inside them and drink, there's too much pressure for all that stuff to stay inside their stomach. Their stomach, well, not inside their stomach, inside their body. Their body does expand slightly, but there is obviously 2 weak spots. I'll not mention which 2 holes they are, but there's 2 weak spots on the back of a sheep, so it either comes out one or t'other. And normally it's the lower one, the cleaner one. That's where it seems to come out first. So yeah, I'm not sure how this video's come out, if it's any good or not, if it'll get many views, but as I say, it's a bit of a ramble on. It's, what night is this? Tuesday night. Tuesday the 19th of March. If anyone's wanting to keep... Oh, I see now the blue-faced Leicester, so been over there eating the hay. So yeah, Tuesday 19th of March. Just out checking the yows, if anyone's got this far on the video. And yeah, we'll kind of wrap it up there. And if anyone would like a video, I was going to be making a little video on all the different YouTube channels. I was going to write down a list and go through, and you know, if anyone's watching and wants to do dairy, you know, go to Tom Pemberton's farm, or Farmer Phil over in Ireland. You know, they're all dairy boys. And you've then got sheep farmers like, say, Cammy Wilson. You've got a bit of arable farmer plus cattle come Crawford Farm. So there's all these good channels, you know, if you're ever sitting. It's far better than watching just normal TV, because it's all a bit kind of twisted and warped. But as I say, you can't warp what someone's saying to a camera, filmed from their lambing shed. You know, I've said it as it is, on my opinion. People won't like it, some people will like it, some people will love it. It's just, there's not many folk brave enough to speak in front of a camera. I'm lucky enough to be able to ramble on. But yeah, there's not everyone's willing to do it and put it out for millions to see. But as I say, I've loved speaking to people all the way through my life, and I'll continue to love speaking to people. You will speak to people that you don't agree with, but if you don't speak to those people, you'll never find out if you agree with them or not. Some things you will agree with them on, some things you won't. It's just the way they all are, you know. We can't all be the same. So you've just to kind of listen to everyone, make your own decisions through life, you know, get on with it. If you're not happy about something, well, you move yourself away from that situation, go and do something that you're happy with. If you want to make money, work hard, you know. Or if you don't want to work hard, you better have good luck, because that's the only ways that you make money, is by working hard or having good luck. Get out there, speak to people, networking, as Cammy always says, and I say as well. Get out there speaking to people, you know. Get on the phone a farmer, you know. Speak to them, ask advice. Down your local mart used to be a good thing, but now there's no marts anymore, so you've just to speak to lorry drivers as they come into your farm for loads of stuff, you know. they'll tell you from their point of view. You'll then begin to realise, right, that's what the lorry driver's saying. Don't believe every lorry driver, but if 10 lorry drivers are telling you the same thing, it's pretty true. Or it's not maybe true, it's maybe real life, it's the way things are happening. But yeah, and most of all, have good fun and a bit of laughter. I know my videos are not very laughter yet, but I'm kind of at the early stages of bringing that out onto the camera. I don't want to frighten people off at the early days. We'll just kind of half keep it a bit serious maybe just now until we get started off. Tom Pemberton, he's a good one. He's kind of let himself go a wee bit and let his inside come out, his inside person. I'll get there one day as well, just once I kind of begin to get a bit more of a following and a bit more kind of people watching that want to see a bit more of that. So yeah, as I say, crack on and have a good one and stick at farming. Saying a night, girls. They're all lying down. Silly Suffolk, Monster behind, Freaklin, the one in the middle here, that's my own lamb, Freaklin, my own lamb, Freaklin, my own lamb, no, North Country Cheviot, North Country Cheviot, North Country Cheviot, my own lamb, Lion, Hornet Jacob, Spooner, Half Tongue, Granda Texel, Ross's Yow, Freaklin, Blind Eyes over the back there. I rescued her, she went blind off of some bad silage. I rescued her, everyone said that it wouldn't survive, same as Silly Suffolk over here. Silly Suffolk got flattened by Heston Bales. She was under it for 2 hours until we could get the place safe and get a forklift over to lift it off. Vet came out, said no chance, a wee bit of care and nurturing, and she came right and she gave us a single lamb. Last year was her first year, and twins this year, so it'll be good to see how she gets on. Everyone will be able to connect to her. Lion, she's in here, and her daughter's in here as well, so it'll be her first lambing this year. This is my really pally one coming. She's a Suffolk Cross Texel. So yeah, there's us up to 18 minutes now, so we'll chap on and leave it at that. Good night, everyone.